Okay, welcome back. Okay, we're going to carry on from the last video. We've got two stages of flaps, so I'm going to pull the flaps up. Full and free movements, and let's go. While we're still on the subject of engine failures, loads of right rudder in there. Bottom of the green arc, back pressure, and we're up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to climb to a couple of thousand feet again, and we're going to go through an emergency landing. Okay, we will turn the engine off. I'm not going to turn back to the runway this time because you're not always near a nice big long runway. Okay, so if you're doing a cross country and you feel that you have to land in a field somewhere, you have to pick somewhere to land. And this is constantly on a pilot's mind. You're constantly looking out the window, you're looking for somewhere to land. And just because you find a nice big field doesn't mean everything's going to land okay, because they're not all like football pitches. A lot of these fields grow crops and they've got ruts in them, ploughed fields, and there's a good chance the aeroplane will turn over or you'll break a wheel off or something like that. But don't forget, this is a life-threatening situation. So you have to make your best choice at the time, because the passengers and your aircraft are your responsibility, and it doesn't change no matter how big or how small your aircraft is. Okay, we're coming up to 2,000 feet now. We got 1,700 just passing it. So we're checking our temperatures and pressures. Left and right fuel tanks, ammeter showing positive charge, suction is in the green, etc, etc. Hatches and harnesses are all secure. Right, lower the nose slightly, and we're just coming up to 2,000 feet. Got 100 foot to go. That's great. Okay, so we'll do a simulated engine failure here. Now what I'm going to do in this, because obviously if an engine fails, I'm actually going to switch the, no, I'll pull the plug. So that red knob has cut the fuel off, okay, to the engine. So obviously we think, shit, at this point we think, whoa. So straight away we lower the nose, trim for 70 knots. Okay, get on the radio, mayday, 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 engine failure, da da da. Position, I'm just to the west of Manston Airport. I would be able to make it back to Manston, but I'm deliberately not going to. I'm going to be looking ahead. Okay, and we do our best to try and get that engine back, because we don't know what's wrong with it. It might start again. Could just be you're on the wrong fuel tank and one tank's run out of fuel, in which case you'd change tanks. There's a tap down there, look, that's on both, on the 172, but you could have been on the left tank. Oh, stall, Warner, see that? Going too slow. Lower the nose when that happens. Okay, so we're going to commit to an emergency landing. Let's assume the engine's gone bang, it's not going to restart. So we've got to fly the aircraft first of all, aviate, navigate, and then communicate last. But we put out a mayday. We put a mayday out because we've got 121.5, which is the emergency frequency, punched into the radio. We flick it over, or we talk to our last airport, which was Manston. If we're still in range of Manston, we'd call Manston and tell them what the problem is. Okay, so now we've got to look for somewhere to go. So we've got lots of fields ahead of us. There's the sea, that's always an option. But what we don't want to do is crash on someone's house and kill someone on the ground. Or roads are always tempting to go for because they're like a runway. But if we go for a road, there's always a risk that you're going to kill someone in a car. So you've got a lot of things to think about all the time. Airspeed indicators should continue to work as normal, but the other instruments you cannot rely on because the suction is not being, the ones that are driven on the suction pumps and things, they're not going to work because they're driven off the engine. Okay, so what's our altitude now? Our altitude is 800 feet. So we've got to think to ourselves now, right, where are we going to go? Fields, got a road, there's a road there. Road's a favourite, and we're over the road, so we can make it to the road. So I'm going to lower 2 stages of flaps, and we've got the additional risk that we're going to kill someone in the car, in a car. So with that thought in mind, plus the thing with roads is they've got lampposts and telegraph poles and things like that. We're going a bit fast, we've got 80 knots, then we've got a bend coming up in the road. So I'm looking for a field at the side of the road always. These look like ploughed fields, so I'm not really happy with this, but we don't want to get the airspeed too low. So, ooh, lots of trucks and things. Lots of trucks, buses, cars. That seemed okay. But bear in mind, you know, you don't want to kill anyone in a car. You could land on them, you could cause a crash, you could cause all kinds of problems. So while a road is a good option, I've seen people land successfully on roads. Like I said, the biggest drawback for me would be the telegraph poles and lampposts, lights. Any kind of pole is going to mess you up really bad. So there's just a demonstration of an emergency landing and what you've got to think about as you're coming in. Those fields would probably be a better bet, actually. A safer bet, especially with a road with that much traffic on it. I mean, the traffic will see you, hopefully, and they'll put their 4-way flashes on and allow you to get down, but you're going to cause a lot of tailbacks. But the point is, your aircraft has landed, and the people in it are safe, and no one's dead. So it's a good landing as far as that's concerned. But ideally, you want a nice grass field, and like I said, if they're not like playing fields, you know, a lot of these fields are really rough, and they will rip the wheels off your aeroplane or throw the aeroplane over onto its back, which isn't good. So hard surfaces are always a better option if you can find something. Or the beach is a good one if you've got a clear run of sand. And say ditching in the water I would not do unless I had no other option, because you hit the water with wheels like that and your aircraft's going to go over, and you're going to be climbing out of it upside down while things fill in with water, and that's not a good thing. Okay, thanks for watching.